Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna teach y'all how to make crisp R&B vocals for all your R&B needs. Jesus Christ. Don't judge the mustache, by the way. I'm experimenting. Fuck you. Before we begin, hi, my name is Álvaro Rubio. I'm an artist. I'm a producer. I basically do anything that involves music. And I post tutorials as well as, my own music. But I know y'all are here for the tutorials right now, you little bastards. So make sure to subscribe right the fuck now, because I got the sauce when it comes to really anything involving music, especially R&B in this case. So let's get this bitch started. So we're over here, we're in the lab. Even though I produce my own stuff, I was kind of rushing. I didn't really, put so much effort in this performance right here, because it's really just a test. Like, obviously, one, you're putting the time and effort, it's gonna sound much better. But over here, I got myself a beat from produced by Chris. Super original producer name. I mean, the beat's hard, so I can't really shit on him that much. And this is basically what I did with this.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't. Oh, girl, I'll get you raising her. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Shawty wonderful. Your attention to her. Oh baby, there's enough to pass around. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So obviously, if you're really gonna put the the effort in, it's gonna sound much better. Right now, I was just dicking around. This is not how I just do shit. But regardless, you can probably tell that I added Adlibs here. Let me keep it 100 with you. This is basically proving the type of way you want to mix your stuff, right? You want, like, this is what's popular now, all right? If you make a song like this, it's gonna be popular to a degree because basically really upfront crisp vocals and then really reverbed Adlibs is the wave right now. It's what everybody's doing. So I'm gonna start it off real quick with the main vocals, right? And I'm gonna show y'all how it sounds without any effects.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't. Ooh, girl, I'll get you raising her. Oh yeah, shawty wonderful.
So I mean, that's basically my vocals. You can probably tell that I added Autotune here. This is just to show you, for those who really need it. I personally don't think that I need it that much. It was really just for like a little touch up, nothing too crazy. But regardless, there's free Autotune things that look exactly the same. This is just something my boys got me. Autotune Pro, Autotune Artist, whatever. Really, it looks complicated, but all you really need to focus on is the key of the song, the scale, and the retune speed, and the humanizer, right? So the way I found what the key of this song is, this pack came with a thing called auto key, which basically, like, as it's listening, it shows you what key it's in. So let me just play around with it. Let me show you how it goes. Like,
I got you what you need.
So obviously you have what key and what scale it's in. Obviously it's G minor. And for the humanizer and retune speed, you can see it set the rate at which the input audio is moved to the target pitches, and humanizer adds realism to sustained notes. So the humanizer makes it obviously more human. It doesn't make you sound like a complete robot, like, I don't know, somebody like 𝐕𝐴𝐻. 𝐕𝐴𝐻 obviously has the humanizer really low, while retune speed is at really high. So over here, this is what it sounds like with just no humanizer and all the retune speed. I know it says 0, but 0 for retune speed is the highest.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't.
It sounds ugly, it sounds robotic. In a R&B song, you want to have at least a semblance of realism, so keep the retune speed at maybe like 23, 24, and put this at like, in between 20 to 50, you know what I mean? It's like,
I got you what you need, babe. I can't. Ooh.
So that's basically it. Now we need to add a compression. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on Fruity Limiter. This is basically the compression that I added.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't.
Play with the threshold. I put it at about like negative 18 decibels. And ratio, I put it at about 3:7:1. Mess with the gain a bit, but basically the compression for the newbies is basically the compression takes quietest sounds in your audio and the highest sounds and tries to balance it at around the same thing. So there isn't that much dynamics. But although dynamics are cool in many instances, in this case where you don't really want some parts of your vocals to be quieter than others, you know what I mean? Like, compression helps with that. Next, we added a de-esser. We go on Maximus. All these are stock plugins, by the way, except the Autotune, which you can download for free. This one isn't for free, but you can find a free Autotune plugin. But everything else is stock plugins. So you're gonna go on Maximus and you're gonna go on de-esser. So you're gonna go on de-esser split band. Mess with this a bit. So if you don't know what a de-esser is, then basically, as you can tell, whenever some people, their S's, the sounds a lot stronger than it should, and it kind of fucks with the sound. It becomes kind of annoying, kind of grating to the ear. So adding a de-esser quiets it down a bit and basically helps you out. So
I got you what you need, babe.
And then we're gonna add the limiter over here.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't. Ooh.
Put the ceiling at like 11 dB and I turn the gain up a bit, and that's basically it. I didn't really play with it that much. Finally, I removed a lot of the bass and sub bass.
I got you what you need, babe.
On the equalization, and I found like the target area of where it's strongest, but mostly it was just kind of a high pass. And finally, probably the most important part, and there's two more things, but probably the most important part of R&B music is the reverb. This is basically what I did. I didn't really mess around with too much, but I focused on this especially. So obviously, if you want to make it crispy and in your face, you gotta keep the dry pretty high, as well as the early reflection. Keep it at about 90. While it does seem like the wet level is pretty low, you really, for the main vocals, you really don't want to have too much, because one thing I see a lot of like R&B people do, that I don't really think is intentional, I think they just do it by mistake, is that they add way too much reverb, which is a problem. You don't want it to sound like this.
I got you what you need, babe.
You add it with the main track, and look how it sounds.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't.
It sounds way too strong, and it's a bit distracting. So keep it at about like 40.
I got you what you need, babe.
You can still obviously hear like the K, which is over here. Mess around with it a little bit, but you can obviously hear the reverb, and it gives it a bit of weight, but it's not too much where it's overbearing. And I'm gonna give you guys the sauce. This is what I use a lot, and it's really helpful. It really makes your vocals stand out, and I'll even show it to you without anything else. But this is Soundgoodizer.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't.
And with
I got you what you need, babe. I can't. Ooh,
it sounds much crispier with Soundgoodizer. It's definitely something that you should be using. It's a stock plugin, but it really does make the difference, and it does make your vocals sound much crispier.
I got you what you need, babe.
One thing I am noticing, and take this from me, you can probably hear that I'm breathing really heavily. You gotta focus on that. And the only reason look, it probably sounds like I'm very amateurish, but I really just did this in like 5 seconds just to use it as an example. But focus on your breathing, right? You don't want a lot of during the performance.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't.
And that's basically it for the main vocals, and that's basically the majority of the video. But just as a quick side thing, I want to teach y'all the Adlibs, which are very important now in music now.
Oh yeah.
These are basically the vocals dry with no effects.
Oh yeah. I can.
Alright, and then obviously, you add the same Autotune, same.
Oh yeah.
A lot more reverb, like a shit ton more reverb, like fucking.
Oh
right? I would honestly add like dampen it even more. Add some compression. I definitely lowered it because it's obviously not a main thing. Some people add their Adlibs way louder than their own vocals, which just sounds horrible. So always make sure to have it quiet, because even if you think it's too quiet, it ends up just giving it like a nice little flavor that people will like. It's like ear candy basically. And I also panned it a bit to the left just so it didn't like mesh with the vocals that much. But after all that, you basically just get this.
I got you what you need, babe. I can't. Girl, I'll get you raising her. Shawty wonderful. Your attention to her. Oh, baby. Yeah. There's enough to pass around. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
That was the video. Obviously, this is all relative, and you should definitely not take my full word for it. Like, play around with it for sure and see what fits the most while having the same sort of boundaries that you use. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it, make sure to subscribe for more, and make sure to comment what other stuff you want me to teach, because I got bare stuff that I got in the books that I can show y'all. So thank you so much, and peace.